All right, welcome to our channel. Today we're in our wood shop. And we're going to be talking about cutting board and charcuterie board care. Right here we have a brand new board that needs its first oil to take him from looking like this to looking like this guy. Or we have our old board. This is my personal board over here. It needed a good oil, so I thought I'd bring it out, show you how we oil it, how we maintain our boards to keep them looking good for many years. Proper maintenance is key. So with all that said, let's get to it. All right, first up, we've got a brand new board. We've got our board all the way through sanding here. It's ready for oil. You know, it's the first time this board's ever been oiled. So maybe you got a board like that at home you made yourself, or maybe ordered one, and it's ready for its first oil. What I'm going to show you is how we do it. Some people like to submerge the boards. We don't prefer that method here. We do it a little bit differently. First, we're going to talk about, a lot of people use mineral oil, and that's fine if you want to use that. We see that it doesn't quite last as long, so we like to use Walrus Oil. We found that it works best for us, keeps our boards really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by pouring a little bit on, and what we do is we fold up a rag into a little square, and that'll just help us move that oil. It's always good if your rag's oiled already. It just helps not dry up on that first one. You just pour, a liberal amount. You don't want to waste any. So you pour a decent amount right on top. And what we'll do is we'll work that in. Then you just take your rag and you'll just move it about for this first pass here. And it's absolutely crucial that you keep your boards well oiled and well maintained. A lot of times, people want the, no worries, no care board, and then for the most part, wood boards are not good for that. You got to take care of them. You got to keep them well maintained, and then they will last you longer. Everybody lives in that IKEA world where you buy something and throw it away. Well, these boards are not made for that. These boards will last you a really long time if you take care of them. So we're just working this first bit of oil in here, getting all of our corners and everything, and we'll flip it over. Don't worry about the lines right now. And if you need to, get yourself, we just put a plastic bag out and put some stands underneath it. Hold our board in the air. Pull a little more out here for the backside. Just spread it around. When we started using Walrus Oil, we did dunk them, but we found that it's just such a waste of oil, and it really is not necessary to do that, to dunk your board. So it's just a waste if you do that. But to each his own. You can do that if you want. We just found we've done so many boards, kind of learned our lessons along the way. We've done so many now that we've kind of got it down too. Our little science. Okay, so we got our first pass done. So what we're going to do, because if you curl this like this, and you say you get it gooped up real high in one spot over here, you know what, that oil may sit there longer. It may just get a little bit darker there. So we like to make nice, straight, even passes for our last coat, going over top of it. And make sure when you get these end grains, especially on the first board, these end grains will really soak in a lot of that oil. So you just want to go over them again, just hit them real good. We're going to make nice straight passes. Do the same with your top. Just like that. And that board is oiled. Now we're going to set that on our shelf over here, and that'll sit there for about 24 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll wipe all that oil off. All right, we're just gonna set this up here on the shelf. If you set it on like this, we have a whole bunch of racks here, and if say you haven't had a board on there in a while, just take your wet glove and put a little bit of oil on those bars, just so it doesn't pull anything extra in. All right, so that's all there is to it to get that first coat of oil on your new board. Next, we're going to move to if you've got a board that you've been using for a while. This is my personal board. This is an end grain board, and what people don't understand is end grain boards, while they're awesome, a little bit easier on your knife's edge, they need meticulous care because of how they're put together and the pores, and they just like to drink a lot of oil. So you got to keep them well maintained, or they'll cup, they can crack. And that's what people don't think about when they buy end grain boards. They oil it, once a month and think that's okay and that their board will be all right. But it's not. You need to take very good care of end grain boards, and then they will last you a long time. I want to do the same process, same setup as we did last time. Just oil, put it on, rub it in. Now you'll notice end grain will drink a lot more oil. Even old boards like mine that's been well oiled over time, still going to drink a lot of oil. You're going to notice that as we're rubbing this in, you're going to see all that oil get down into that grain. It's going to look like it almost dries up, but that's because it's end grain. It drinks all that oil down in there, even though it's been, like I said, oiled so many times. But it's going to continue to drink oil. And that's because, the end grain's up, and that when you wash it off, that soap gets down in there and really brings out all the oil that's already down in there. The difference between end grain and maybe even live edge or edge grain is that we are going to coat this 2 times before we put it up there. We're going to coat it like this. I'm going to let it set for a couple minutes, and then we'll coat it again. And you'll see in the video how much it sets up, how much it dries up, just in the few minutes that we're rubbing this side in. I'm going to flip it over. I'll bring the camera a little closer so you can see. So if you can see here, you can see all these spots where that end grain is just really drinking in all that oil. So we're going to let it sit for a couple minutes, and then we're going to do it again before we put it back up on the shelf. If you can see here, you can really see that oil has been sucked down in all those pores. So we're just going to do it again. And I recommend that every time you wash your end grain board that you oil it. It's just going to help with the board lasting longer and not cupping or bowing. And it'll give you lots of life if you take care of it. And you really tell on the backside how much that's soaked up in there. For our final coat, we'll do the same process like we did on that one, where we take nice straight passes. Again, it's just precautionary. We're going to do anything we can to make so these boards look nice. While Walrus Oil is not sponsoring this, you can get Walrus Oil on our website. We like them so much, we sell the product. So I'll put a link down in the description. You can pop over to our website and pick up some Walrus Oil. Now what we'll do after this, we're going to let this set up 24 hours, same as we do for our first coat of a new board. We're going to let this set up for 24 hours, and then what we'll do is we'll put a wax coating on top of it. It's just a little extra protection, keep that water out of those grains. Same thing we'll do with the live edge board. So we use Walrus Oil wood wax, cutting board wax. And we put that on after we've wiped the excess off of this. We'll put that on, let that set for about 20 minutes, and then wipe that off. So that's all it is to it. That's how you take care of your boards. Take care of your boards, keep them nice. They'll last a long time. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe to our channel. Hopefully you learned a little something. Until next time, we'll see you later.